Local volunteers helped Tzu Chi with the recent aid distribution to help flood victims in Ayutthaya Province, Thailand. DaAi TV partners with NTU to stream lectures and discussions to further educational content to more students. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. Aid distributions in Thailand in recent days have helped nearly 1,500 families who were affected by the flooding in Ayutthaya Province. Although the country is in a period of mourning, people are still eager to spread love as communities move forward in this difficult time. Next, we'll meet some Thai residents who offered to help Tzu Chi with the distribution when they learned that volunteers were short-handed at the event.
Volunteers recently held an aid distribution for flood victims in Sena district of Ayutthaya Province in Thailand, where many areas are still underwater. People living in the sub-district of Hua are especially in need of assistance.
I'm very happy to receive these aid items. We'll be able to eat for the next few days.
You've given us so much help. We will be able to make it through these next few days thanks to you. We are so relieved and happy that you've come to help after the floods.
The Tzu Chi Thailand chapter successfully provided assistance to 1,459 families over the course of the recent distribution. They delivered rice, cooking oil, soy sauce, eggs, and drinking water. Several residents who saw Tzu Chi volunteers were short-handed even stayed around to help with the distribution.
As a resident of Ayutthaya, it is an honor to help Tzu Chi doing good deeds for our community. I hope I can cultivate merit to honor the Thai king.
Although I'm tired, I'm still very happy. I don't have the money to donate, but today I happily give my work to help others in society.
Although the nation is currently in a period of mourning, that won't stop the goodwill of the Thai people from spreading love and care as this community works to get their lives back to normal.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malacca went to 4 Tamil elementary schools to give out gifts for the Deepavali festival. To help reduce the financial burden of these families, the volunteers also prepared some ingredients for these families so that they can make Hindu biscuits for the upcoming festival.
These children are all smiles upon receiving their gift packs. They are ready to celebrate the Deepavali festival.
I feel very happy because me and my parents, my siblings can share food.
Starting from 2013, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia have been promoting Tzu Chi scholarships and the Happy Campus program in schools around Malaysia. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting Tamil elementary schools to deliver Deepavali gifts to 122 poor families.
I'm very touched because Tzu Chi has been helping my school a lot. I hope our students, after getting help, can give back to society to help those who need it.
To make the biscuits. It's already here.
The gift packs include the ingredients for making traditional biscuits, which is what parents need.
We would have bought the ingredients, but they are too expensive, and the kids have asked me to make the Hindu biscuits. How can I make them without money? The gift pack from Tzu Chi included these ingredients. I can use them to make the biscuits for the kids.
With the blessings of Tzu Chi volunteers, these families are now ready to celebrate the upcoming holiday.
It is often said that a home is a shelter that protects us from the elements. However, the same cannot be said for the many residents who are living in less than ideal environments in impoverished communities of Marikina in the Philippines. Recently, the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter decided to help some of these families repair and restore their homes, helping making their houses safe havens once more.
Marikina resident Lilabeth Relahiza lives in a home where the roof has deteriorated beyond repair and has to move each time it rains.
It is really hard living in our house, especially during monsoon seasons. Aside from our rusty roof, we don't have a second floor. So every time there's a flood, we ask our neighbors if we can temporarily store our things in their house. But our struggles don't end here. After every typhoon, we need to clean our inundated house first before getting our belongings from our neighbors.
After the Tzu Chi Foundation learned of her situation, volunteers set out to help her with repairs.
Now, because of Master Zhen Yan, we can have more peaceful nights without ever having to worry about roof leakages. I want Master Zhen Yan to know that because of her and Tzu Chi, we can now have a decent home.
Norma Idra, just like Lilibeth, also longs for a home that can shelter and protect her from the elements. With the help of volunteers, her once cluttered and disorganized home has been completely transformed.
When the building material arrived, I saw how my fellow volunteers poured their time and effort to repair my house. I was filled with great joy and warmth because I saw how concerned they were about my family's welfare.
Thanks to the love of Tzu Chi volunteers, the two women finally have a perfect family home to create everlasting memories.
Today we meet a 34-year-old mother who successfully donated bone marrow 8 years ago. She felt as if she won the lottery when she received notification of a successful pairing. Later, she would also donate lymphocytes to the same recipient who works in the tourism industry and is full of gratitude for this life-saving donation. Over here, I have 4 swollen lymph nodes and had a check of my bone marrow with the doctor determining it was acute leukemia. After chemotherapy, he said my chances of improving weren't that great. Only about 20 or 10 or even 5%. He said I can consider a bone marrow transplant, but the process is very uncomfortable. I went home and discussed this with my family, saying the success rate was quite low. I was quite tired, though my family said that even if there was a 1% chance, then I should give it a try. When the donor's contribution went directly into my body, it wasn't immediately used, so I had to ask my doctor for lymphocytes. I really need to thank my donor who donated to me twice. One time was stem cells and one time was lymphocytes.
As a donor, I was pretty excited because my family heard that fighting a match was more difficult than winning the lottery. I feel that everything was a coincidence as we just moved into a new home and there was no one at the old home. When my parents went back to clean the old house, the phone rang and they got this message. At the time, I felt like she was calling to find me to quickly come and save her, as I thought it was like magic.
Her whole trust in us, including undertaking this action, made her quite happy, and her interaction was quite good, and everything was positive, as she would definitely encourage people to undertake such action.
My husband and other people I know, including my brother, I have all told them to go and register so that they can potentially save a person or save a family.
Tzu Chi volunteers continue to host Tzu Chi parent and child bonding classes across various communities in New Taipei City. At the Xintai Liaison Office, 77 students and 77 volunteers attended the most recent class. Meanwhile, at the Shuanghe Liaison Office, Turkey Tzu Chi volunteer Faisal Hu was invited to talk to the children about the joys of being able to go to school. Early in the morning, some children have already arrived at Tzu Chi's Xintai Liaison Office for the parent and child class. This is the 4th year. Xu Wensong and his daughter are attending.
Being part of a charity organization guides you on a path towards compassion.
Some people are here by word of mouth, hoping to expose their children to more goodness and compassion.
A friend of ours attended before and he really enjoyed it, so he encouraged us to come.
This year, there are 77 attendees and also 77 volunteers. Meanwhile, here at the Shuanghe Jingsi Hall, Turkey Tzu Chi volunteer Faisal Hu was invited to speak to the children about Syrian refugee children in Turkey. While broadening the children's horizon, it is also hoped that they may be inspired to change for the better.
学习去爱人。
He learned how to love. Shuchen is an only child. He doesn't have any siblings, so he didn't really know how to share with others.
兄弟姐妹，所以他比较不懂得去跟人家分享。
Xu Yushen, who graduated from the class 2 years ago, has returned as a volunteer this year.
We had to be here at 7 a.m. to run through the day's schedule. Since I am part of the activities team, we perform sign language and organize some activities.
Learning about giving and gratitude, children who grow up in a loving environment won't go astray. When Li Yanyi from Kaohsiung heard on the radio that the Genesis Social Welfare Foundation was recruiting volunteers, she immediately signed up the following day and has been volunteering for the past 10 years. She even sold her home and rented a place nearer to the volunteer office to save on travel time.
Li Yanyi is checking the numbers on the receipt. She became a volunteer after she heard the Genesis Social Welfare Foundation was recruiting volunteers on the radio, and she has been a volunteer for 10 years.
I hope there were 2 of me so I could volunteer 24 hours a day.
When Li was 55 years old, she heard on the radio that the Genesis Social Welfare Foundation needed volunteers experienced with looking after elderly people. She went to sign up the following day. Her work includes checking the numbers on the receipt to see if the numbers win any money in the bi-monthly receipt drawing. She also goes to the homes of PVS patients to cut their hair and bathe them. The work is not easy, but she enjoys it. To save time, she decided to move to be closer to the volunteer office.
I often volunteer all day long from Monday to Thursday. When I went home on Joru Street, it would be quite late. And if I went to the homes of PVS patients, it would be past 1 o'clock when I got home. And then I had to leave at 2. It was too rushed.
感谢你们，做我们的后盾，让我们无后顾之忧。谢谢你们，有你们真好。
She is a single mother, and her son supports what she does. And because of her work, she has made many friends. Take Mrs. Yang, for example. She received help from Genesis before and was very influenced by it. After her husband passed away, she too joined the Genesis. Li Yanyi wants to use herself as an example to encourage more people to join her so that their lives can become more meaningful.
DaAi TV and National Taiwan University have co-organized a series of Nobel Prize lectures which are being shared with 20 schools in Taiwan. The program aims to teach students more about the inspiring stories behind these Nobel laureates.
In 1976, Samuel Ting won the Nobel Prize in Physics for discovering subatomic J particles. To accomplish the Nobel Prize, Ting's student, Professor Zhang Yuanhan, said he was aided by a personality which never gave up.
I think the most important thing that I learned from him is that he's never afraid of setbacks. He always kept his confidence and was optimistic. Actually, his confidence and optimism wasn't just blind faith, as he spent a lot of effort to solve these problems.
The story of the scientist who discovered subatomic J particles inspires many young students to attend the lecture.
I personally want to pursue such a path in scientific research, so I was interested in this story about someone who worked hard and persevered in science.
Samuel Ting is known around National Taiwan University, so I wanted it to come and listen.
DaAi TV is working with National Taiwan University's Center for the Advancement of Science Education has produced a series of talks to illuminate the inspiring story behind this Nobel scientist.
National Taiwan University's Center for the Advancement of Science Education is working with DaAi TV to host a live webcast that is revolutionizing traditional teaching methods and helping stimulate more interest in science.
The Nobel Prize, in fact, traditionally represented elite European ideals.
This live webcast allows experts and scholars to discuss the Nobel Prize, allowing students at Hualien Tzu Chi University to participate in a lecture series without having to travel.
This course, being held at National Taiwan University in Taipei, is also available simultaneously in Hualien. We have the same opportunities as students in Taipei who have access to such excellent courses.
Listening to this live lecture not only allows us to learn something in class, but we are able to gain a better understanding of the full range of science.
Over 4 days, 8 different lectures will be made available to 20 different schools that are all linked together.
我们希望能够共学。
We want to be able to learn together with teachers and instructors, benefiting from live streaming to learn the latest knowledge. I think this is a modern teaching methodology which combines technology to provide a very successful learning experience.
结合科技，一个非常成功的经验。
You have to find the area that you are interested in. Secondly, you have to train the way that you think.
This live webcast, together with teachers accompanying students in the classroom, is helping revolutionize the way that education is passed on, not only making studying more interesting and fun, but also closing the gap between urban students and those that live in rural areas.
62-year-old Hong Shunming lives with his mother in Taichung. As devout Buddhists, they are vegetarians and recite daily prayers. Previously, Hong's mother suffered 2 strokes, leaving Hong to tend to her daily needs. Besides being a filial son, Hong is also an extremely gifted calligrapher. Sitting by the Buddha's altar, Hong Shunming hand copies the Heart Sutra stroke by stroke. The walls are filled with his Chinese calligraphy artwork.
This was a realization made when I was studying Zen, so I made it into a verse.
For a person who has never received formal calligraphy lessons, Hong Shunming writes neatly and beautifully. As a Buddhist, Hong sees calligraphy writing as a practice of spiritual cultivation.
Before I hand copy the sutras, I will first cleanse my body and then pay homage to the Buddha. Only thereafter will I begin sutra copying.
Hong and his 82-year-old mother are both devout Buddhists. Ever since his mother suffered a stroke as the eldest son, Hong takes it upon himself to look after his mother's daily needs.
I'm very content to have the opportunity to take care of you, Mother.
He hasn't been in the best of health, yet he still takes care of me wholeheartedly. This I know.
Hong had a rebellious past, and it wasn't until much later in life that he realized the importance of home and family. Now Hong and his mother are never apart, and Tzu Chi volunteers visit them regularly. The mother-son pair live frugally to save money to help people in need.
I want to thank the master.
Although life may be difficult for 62-year-old Hong and his 82-year-old mother, however, they cherish every moment they have with each other. Are vegetarian athletes slower than those who eat a meat-filled diet? The answer is definitely no, according to Michael Hu, a vegetarian for the past 3 years, who says that many of his runner friends are also vegetarians who are able to complete full marathons and even rigorous mountaineering activities, just like meat-eating athletes.
Modern people pay more attention to health as a group of 3 to 5 friends who get off work together meet to run together. These members of this running club today depart from Tai Power MRT station, run through the National Taiwan University and National Taiwan Normal University campus. Today they run more than 5 kilometers and end up at the Jingmei MRT station. But for some, their night isn't over yet. 3 years ago, Michael Hu, the founder of this urban jogging club, began eating a vegetarian diet by chance. He continued his normal exercise and even encouraged his members to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables to help the body recover.
One time I saw someone on the TV saying that the animals can feel pain. So I said to myself at the time that I just eat vegetables so they won't be hurt. And then I found out my temper improved and I wasn't so quick to get angry. And secondly, I found that I had more endurance and perseverance, and that runners are very suitable for a vegetarian diet because we don't need to be so explosive, we just need stamina.
In fact, Michael Hu found that there are quite a lot of vegetarian runners. One of the members is 31-year-old Zhan Ming Ray. As a devout vegetarian who often participates in long-distance races and even mountain climbing and other difficult feats of endurance. His friends even gave him the nickname Champion.
When I prepare for a race, I eat some more starch along with vegetables. I frequently eat spaghetti with some healthy vegetables and tomato and soybeans, which are very helpful to the body and help with overall circulation.
The example of these joggers goes to show that a vegetarian diet can not only be healthy, but provide enough nutrition to allow one to run for an incredible distance.
At the age of 10, Lin Cuiping was diagnosed with a rare and serious disorder of the skin and mucous membrane, causing blindness in both eyes. However, she has never given up and vowed to be a teacher. With her devotion to special education and her inspiring spirit, she was honored with the Essence Teacher Award this year.
At her age of 10, Lin Cuiping was diagnosed with a rare and serious disorder of the skin and mucous membranes. Though she is blind in both eyes, she has devoted herself to special education for 17 years.
Though I am a disabled person who is blind in both eyes, my family, friends, or teachers never gave up supporting me when I was ill. They make me who I am today.
Miss Lin usually encouraged her students instead of scolding them. Since she was young, she has vowed to become a teacher helping the children who are also disabled. In the eyes of her students, she's not only their teacher, but also their mother.
用爱心跟温暖去照顾，有一颗善良的心，又很美丽。
虽然有的时候生气有点恐怖，但是平常就是对我们很好。生日快乐！
谢谢，哇，真是超级像的。当看到孩子有
It is worth seeing these children growing up gradually.
Though life is difficult for Lin Cuiping, she always takes on new challenges with smiles and has instilled positive attitudes in her students, giving them more confidence to face their future.
On October 30th, Tzu Chi volunteers from Malaysia plan to hold a large-scale free clinic for Kota Kinabalu residents living in a remote tribal village. To ensure everyone in the surrounding area knew about the clinic, volunteers went to 12 villages to promote the event. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.